Hello and welcome to practice. This morning class has been designed to help you set up some good posture habits for your day. So let's get started by lying down, and you can have your knees bent and your feet firmly planted onto the floor. As you come to settle on your back, it might be a good idea just to take your hands behind your head, gently draw your chin towards your chest, and then nice and slowly, keeping that length in the back of the neck, lower the back of the head down. And then once we've done that, we can take our hands and just rest them onto the abdomen. And so for the first few moments of practice, let's start to bring our awareness and attention to our breathing as it is right here, right now. And just start to notice how you are breathing naturally. So notice if you're breathing in and out through the nose or the mouth. And notice if you can start to feel the belly expanding into the hands with the inhale, and then gently drawing in as you exhale. And so for the next few rounds of breath, let's just try and take this a little bit more deliberately. So take a nice full deep breath in through your nose, and see if you can gently press the belly out into the hands. And then as you exhale, exhale through the nose and see if you can gently allow the hands to soften in with the belly. And let's do 4 more like this. So nice full breath in. Press the belly out into the hands using the diaphragm here. And then exhale, feel that belly naturally drawing back in as the diaphragm lifts up and the lungs empty. So inhaling, that diaphragm moves down. That's what presses the belly out so that the lungs can fill up with air. And then exhaling, the diaphragm moves up, the belly goes in, and the air is pushed out of the lungs. 2 more to go. Nice full deep breath in. And slow breath out. Last one, breathing in. Breathing out. And then if you're able to continue this breathing for the rest of the practice, please feel free to do that. And know if you do lose connection with the breath at any point that this is very common and normal, and you can just bring the awareness back and start to take those slightly deeper breaths in and out again when you notice. So next we're going to move on to the movement of the pelvis, and this is really important for our posture, having a mobile pelvis. So what I want you to start by doing is just seeing if you can tuck the tailbone and press the lower back into the floor, so that if you try to get your hands underneath the lower back, then there's no space to get them under there. And then what you're going to do is reverse that. So imagine you're trying to arch your back. You're lifting the lower back away from the floor, and then you might notice that the hands can slide underneath. And so let's just do a couple more like that. So tucking of the tailbone, flattening the lower back to the floor, and then arching through the back. Maybe the hands can slide underneath. And last one, lifting or tucking under with the tailbone, lower back goes flat, and then tailbone goes down, lower back lifts up. And then this time you can bring your hands to the sides of the body with the palms facing down. Let's do that tuck of the tailbone again, lower back flattening into the floor, but we'll add on, we'll start to lift the tailbone off the floor, followed by the lower back, the middle back, maybe even the upper back. See how it feels for you. And then I just want you to see if you can start to squeeze your glutes here. So you start to feel a little bit of activation in the back body. 1 more breath in where you are. And then nice and slowly, let's start to lower that spine back down. And we're going to do 2 more rounds of our bridge there. So tuck the tailbone, start to lift the back body away from the floor. Try and keep those knees parallel with one another, planting the feet firmly down, maybe pressing the hands into the floor as well, creating some resistance. And then as you exhale nice and slow, you can lower your way back down. And then last one like that. Inhale as you lift away from the floor. Keep planting the feet down, knees staying parallel. Coming up as high as you can this time. And we're going to stay for a few breaths. So some of you might find that you can interlace your hands behind the body and then just press the arms into the floor, giving you a little bit more height in your bridge. And then maybe you can see the movement of the belly as you breathe here. So as you inhale, that torso is gently expanding. And then exhaling as navel draws in towards the spine. 2 more full breaths here. Good, and then take 1 more breath in where you are. You can separate the hands, let the hands plant down. And then as you exhale, nice and slow, seeing if you can work through the vertebrae. So upper back comes down first, then the middle back, then the lower back, and finally the tailbone. When you get back to the floor, just take a full breath in where you are. And a nice slow exhale. Good, and then from there, try hugging your knees in towards your chest, and you may take a gentle rocking side to side on the spine. So we're going to start to wake up through our core a little bit here. So let's bring our arms out to the side and use the muscles of the core to draw those knees in towards the chest. And then taking a nice deep breath in and center. And as you exhale, just see if you can let your knees go to the right, but don't let them fall to the floor. Stay in control of that movement. And then as you inhale, you'll come back to center. And then exhale, let's take it to the left. So knees go to the left. See if you can keep that right shoulder grounded. Good. 2 more each side. So inhale as you come through center. And then exhale, knees to the right. Try and keep that left shoulder grounded. Inhale back to center. And exhale, knees to the left. Last one each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the right. This is a great way of warming up the core and also just bringing our spine into that twisting motion. So last one to the left here. As you exhale, knees go to the left. Inhale, bring those knees back up to center. As you exhale, you can grab hold of the shins and maybe you draw your forehead towards your knees, just curling the body up into a little ball. And then relaxing back down, feet can find the floor. And then we'll just roll our way onto our side to bring ourselves up into a seat. So we're going to turn the body around now into an all fours position, finding tabletop. Spread your fingers nice and wide, press down into your fingertips, and then stack the shoulders above the wrists and the hips above the knees. And we're going to come into a few rounds of cat-cow here. This is really good movement for the spine and also brings in that kind of pelvis mobilization that we were working on the floor. So what we want to do to start is think about lifting the tailbone, let the belly drop, pull the heart forward and lift the chin. So that was that arching of the back that we did lying down where we had our hands underneath our spine. And then let's tuck that tailbone. So start with the tailbone, tuck the tailbone, then see if you can start to round through the spine, round through the upper back, and then chin to chest, cat pose. Let's go for 4 more like this. Take it nice and slow so you can really feel what's going on in the different parts of the spine. Tailbone lifts, belly drops, heart pulls forward, chin lifts. And then as you exhale, tuck the tailbone round through the spine, chin to chest, push the floor away through the hands. 3 more. Take these at your own pace. And if you're comfortable with this movement, try doing it with the eyes closed so that you can really focus on what this feels like rather than what it looks like. As we're rounding into cat, press the tops of the feet into the floor. 2 to go. Last one, and when you finish this last one, let's all meet in child's pose. So once you've rounded out into that cat stretch, let your hips move back towards your heels. Let your forehead move towards the floor and extend your arms forward. And then just take a few nice deep rounds of breath here, seeing if you can become aware of feeling the breath expanding in all directions of the torso. So it's not just the belly that's expanding when we breathe. The side body is also expanding, and the back body as well, that movement of the ribs expanding. Good, and then from here, spreading out wide through your fingers, press into your fingertips, and with an inhale, come back to your all fours position. And then we're going to lift into downward dog from here. So tuck the toes, lift the knees off the ground, and press your hips up and back. Now, if the backs of the legs are tight, which often can be first thing in the morning, try bending your knees, because what we're really working on in today's practice is our posture, and a big part of that is getting a little bit more length through our spine. So really think about those hips moving back so we can lengthen the spine and open up the shoulders. And then if you are comfortable moving into straight legs from there, feel free to explore that option. You can press the thighs back and gently draw the heels towards the floor. And so when we come into downward facing dog, we are in an inversion, upside down pose. And this can help to bring more balance into our posture, because if you think about it, all day, every day, we're standing upright or sitting upright. And so our neck muscles and our shoulder muscles have to work really hard to keep that head balanced onto our body. And when we come into an upside down pose, we can let go of that tension, maybe even shaking the head a couple of times. Just let the head hang. Good, and then from where you are, rise up onto the toes, look forward towards your hands. And then let's start to tiptoe the feet up to the top of the mat. So no rush here, just moving the feet forward at your own pace. You can press firmly into the hands, keep those hips high. And when you run out of space, then see if you can come up onto your fingertips, walk a little further forward. And then when you can't go any further, let the weight come into the feet and just let the hands hang down. I'm going to turn to face you here, but you can stay exactly where you are on your mat. So feet are about hip distance. You can have the knees bent, and then just allowing the upper body to relax over the legs. And again, our forward fold is another inversion, so let that head hang, just giving the shoulders and the neck a break here from holding that weight of the head. And then we're going to come into what's called our Ragdoll stretch here. So if you take your hands and just frame them around your right foot, right leg, you can have bent knees here. And then let's just start to slowly roll ourselves up that right side. That might take you a few breaths to get all the way up to the top. And then when you get to the top, if it feels okay for the neck, just let the head gently roll back. And then we'll just start to roll ourselves down the left side. So that's one round, and we're going to do another one in that direction. So rolling your way up the right side, let the arms hang like a ragdoll. Let the head gently roll back. And then we can roll our way back down the left side. When you get to the bottom this time, switch direction. So rolling up the left side. Moving across. And then rolling down the right side. And one more in this direction. And so overnight our body often gets very stiff because we're in the same position quite a long time. So these kind of gentle flowing movements can be really good just for loosening up all the tissues in the body and helping us to feel much freer in our posture for the rest of the day. When you get down into your forward fold this time, just stay and pause that for a moment. And notice if you feel like the body is any closer to the floor. Maybe the hands feel like they're a little bit closer to the floor, whether they are touching or not. And this time we're going to come up through the center. So again, nice generous bend through the knees. Let the arms hang like a ragdoll. And then let's just think about that movement of the pelvis. So think about tucking the tailbone as you draw in through the tummy muscles. And then imagine you're just trying to stack one vertebrae on top of the other. So the last thing to lift is the head and the neck. And then we come all the way up into our standing mountain pose. Good, so let's just take a moment to bring our awareness down into our feet. Give the toes a little wiggle here. Good, and then from there, take a little bit of softness through your knees. A slight tuck of the tailbone so the pelvis feels neutral. And then a lifting up of the heart space. Allow the shoulders to relax back and down. Good, and then we're just going to do a little bit of work on strengthening the upper back. And this can feel really nice, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting in your day. So you want to start by bringing the arms out into a nice Y shape. Spread out wide through your fingers. And then take a nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, make fists with the hands, and almost imagine that you're trying to pull yourself up on a pull-up bar. So there's a bit of resistance there as we do this movement. Feel that squeeze of the shoulder blades. And then just see if you can move the elbows slightly forward and the fists slightly back. Notice if you can feel those big muscles on the back of the shoulder start to activate. Good, we're going to do 4 more. So inhale, come out into your Y shape, stretch out through your fingers, and then exhale, bend the elbows, make fists with the hands, and imagine you're trying to pull yourself up on a pull-up bar. Elbows slightly forward, fists pressing back. Good, 3 more. Inhale, Y shape. Exhale, bend the elbows, make fists, squeeze down like you're resisting the movement as we do it. And 2 more rounds. Inhale as you reach up. And exhale, make fists, squeeze. Imagine you're pulling yourself up on that pull-up bar. Last one. Inhale to reach up. And exhale. Hold at the bottom there. Elbows slightly forward, fists slightly back. Squeeze. See if you can really feel those muscles in the back of the shoulders. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. This time, join the hands together, interlace the fingers, shoot the index finger up. And then as you exhale, side bend to your right. It's just taking a little side bend to the right. You can keep soft through the knees and just feel that left side body opening here. So to keep our spine as healthy as possible, we really need to make sure we're moving it in all the directions it goes, and that includes side bending. As you inhale, let's come back up through center. And then exhale, side bend to your left. And so in today's practice, we've covered all the main movements: forward bending, backward bending with our bridge pose. We've done some twisting, and now we've added in side bending. So this is really great to get all of these movements into the body first thing in the morning. As you inhale, you can bring yourself all the way back to center. And then exhale, gently float those arms down to the sides of the body. Let's take a nice deep breath in here. Nice slow breath out. Good. And then we're just going to do a little bit of work on our balance and strengthening through the feet and the calf muscles. So with an inhale, let's rise up onto the balls of the feet, press the floor away. And then as you exhale, nice and slow, nice and controlled, see if you can bring the heels back to the floor. Let's do 2 more. So inhale, we're rising up onto the balls of the feet. And exhale, lower the heels down. And 1 more time. Inhale, rising up. And exhale to lower down. Great. Let's add on this time. So coming onto the balls of the feet, take the arms out in front. And as you exhale, start to bend your knees and just go as low as you can. So you might find that's about halfway. Some of you might find that you're able to come all the way down into a toe balance. Once you get as low as you can, come back up. Press into the balls of the feet, rising up. See if you can come as high as you can onto the balls of the feet, and then exhale, lower the heels, lower the arms. 2 more to go. Inhale as we rise up. Exhale, bend the knees. Start to lower your weight all the way back down. Inhale as you rise back up. And exhale, lower the heels, lower the arms. 1 more time. Inhale to rise. Exhale, bend as you lower. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, lower the heels, lower the arms. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Good, and then take your arms up overhead, so upward salute, palms meet. And as you exhale, just gently draw those hands down to heart center. And as we do that, you can close down your eyes, or if you're more comfortable, keep the eyes open, but just find a spot in front of you where you can rest your gaze. And then let's just bring our awareness down into our feet, feeling that connection with the floor beneath you. See if you can feel the weight evenly in the middle of the feet. So maybe noticing if you're leaning slightly to one side and seeing if you can bring that back to center. And then from the soles of the feet, bring your awareness up into your knees. Maybe you can just soften the knees slightly so we're not locking into the knee joint. And then start to bring your awareness up into the pelvis and see if that pelvis feels neutral here, not kind of arching the back too much, not kind of tucking under too much, but finding that middle ground. And then as you lift that awareness up to the belly, just see if you can notice the expansion of the belly with the inhale and the drawing back in with the exhale. And this is a good sign that we are breathing in a efficient and regulated way. And our breathing and posture are very much connected. So if we're breathing well, our posture is better. And if our posture isn't so good, if we're kind of slumping forward, then that can affect our breathing. So these two things work very much together. And then just bring your awareness up into your heart space. Feel a little bit of a lift in the heart space as you allow the shoulders to roll back and down. And then just bring your awareness into the neck and the head, and feel that head balancing comfortably on top of the shoulders. And so just really setting that intention for today to take little moments to notice your posture, to notice how the body feels, and also to take little breaks in the day for movement, because this is one of the best things that we can do to keep our posture healthy and our body happy. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today, and I hope you have a beautiful day.